Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to another little review of an FSX product. So today we're going to be having a look at the F-117A Night Hawk from Commercial Level Simulations, released by them and also released under the Just Flight name as well. It's the exact same aircraft. Now, I'm looking at this one because I recently sort of, I've always got a fascination with things that are odd and weird. And you know what? Nothing gets more odder and weirder in modern aviation than the Nighthawk. It's just so damn ugly. This thing should not be able to fly. It really shouldn't, and yet it does. And so, I was thinking about it the other day, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to find out, does somebody make one? And lo and behold, yes, they do. So here I am, picked it up, want to have a look at it, and review it for you guys, and see if it is something that you're going to want to invest in. Now, it looks weird. Yes, it does. Now, many people out there today probably haven't been alive long enough to know of this aircraft, it being in operational service. So, it operated for 20 years. So yeah, reasonably long. It was operating in well, actually over 20 years actually. First commissioned in 1981 and operational status in 1983. It didn't actually officially acknowledged. Its existence wasn't officially acknowledged until 1988. So it operated in complete secrecy for almost a decade before becoming an acknowledged, yes, this is part of the USAF inventory. So yeah, it's got a fascinating history with its combat and stuff like that. But overall, it just looks so incredibly ugly that it just absolutely fascinates me. It really does. I mean, there's stories of a Royal Air Force pilot who flew it when he was on exchange with the US Air Force, and when the aircraft was still very, very secret. He saw a picture of it for the first time and promptly laughed to himself and said, "There is no way that it must be a joke, because there is no way that anything like this could possibly fly." So we're gonna take this up for a spin today, and we're gonna see if the FSX version can fly. So. First off, we'll have a look now. As I said, this is produced by by CLS Commercial Level Simulations. Now, first off, it is an older release. It has been around for quite a few years now for FSX. And in fact, the installer, well, it actually was around for FS9 first off, and CLS offers it as a one-off package that you can install into either FSX or FS9. And I always love it's produced, by the way, it's produced by Lockheed Martin from the old Lockheed Skunk Works, and of course their logo features prominently on the tail there. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, it's produced by CLS. It's combined for FSX and FS9. Now it is an FS9 port over. Now what does that mean? So FS9 was the predecessor to FSX, and didn't have a lot of the things that FSX has in terms of, FSX changes the way it handles texturing, the way it handles like effects and stuff like that. So, and a whole heap of other changes which I'm not going to go into. But it's been quite well known that there's often issues with porting aircraft over from FS9 to FSX. So we shall have to see if something similar happens with this payware one. So we will hopefully expect that we will get the payware one, but we shall see. Alright, so enough of me waffling and looking around the outside. Let's jump into the cockpit. Alright, so here we are. Alright, it's basic. It is a very, very basic cockpit. So you've got your couple of MFDs there, which just give you basic data and stuff like that. Very, very basic gauges and designs. Nothing really over the top here, pretty much stuff that you see in stock standard. You got your big MFD in here, which in the real aircraft does things like, all your it does like your weapons and stuff like that. Now of course, this doesn't do that. Instead, you have these images that you can sort of flick through, and you can pretend you're targeting something. Gimmicky little feature. Would have preferred something else maybe, but again, when this add-on was produced, which was quite some time ago, a lot of the extra features and stuff, maybe it was just fairly basic coding. So yeah, none of these sort of work, but that's all they do. So yeah, basic. As I said, this is basic stuff. This really is. And I just realised this got a radar altimeter there, which I'm pretty sure it shouldn't have. It didn't have any radar stuff. Anyway, that's sort of like how it maintains to be stealthy. Anyway, now the rest of the cockpit. Rest of the cockpit is not clickable. Bit disappointing with that because it's it's got everything there. It's got all the flat panel there, so you'd think it'd be clickable, but it's not. So that's a bit of a shame. If you want to do things like engines and stuff like that, you've got to use it through the shift pop-ups that you can do as well. So if you want to go through things like your engines and actually like fire up and stuff like that, instead of actually being able to do them on here, then no, you've actually got to do them up here. Animation wise, fairly basic. It does have the air refueling slot on the spine to open up, but that's kind of about it. Yeah, it's pretty basic. It's pretty basic, but yeah, okay. Alright, now there should be a HUD there. Alright, HUD system, here we go. HUD system. There we go. Okay. HUD system up. There we go. Cool. Alright, good. Alright, okay. Now let's get our canopy wound down. We've got the gold textures on there. That looks nice. Alright, we get that one. Alright. That's a little odd. Okay. That's something to do with some of those texturing things I was telling you about, that it just handles textures differently in F6 to FS9, so obviously that didn't get ported over very well. And I've just realised apparently we've taken on elements of Wonder Woman's invisible jet apparently. So I can see straight through the cockpit sides. That's not cool. Guys, come on. Really? You're charging for this product? And apparently I can see straight through the floor. Yeah, look, don't get me wrong, like, I know it's great to see a target and everything, but I'm pretty sure I shouldn't be able to see him through the rudder pedals. This is not shaping up to be a good piece of payware. Really, really not. Like, okay, I know it's, I know it was a put over from FS9 to FSX, but seriously guys, you're charging money for this? Really? Okay, alright, let's taxi out here, and let's get in the air, and then we'll do a quick circuit around here at Edwards Air Force Base, and we'll see how she flies in the air. Now the Night Hawk was its official name, but it had one distinct and very notable nickname in terms of its sort of public name was the fact that it was nicknamed the Wobbly Goblin. Now that was now it was because apparently it's very, as you can see from the outside, it doesn't quite look right. It seems very unstable in terms of flying. Though pilots who flew it maintained that that wasn't the case. That it was actually a very stable aircraft to fly, and it didn't have any problems like that. So interesting that, but the name kind of stuck. And though it apparently does have its history in terms of when the origin of this program, which was the Have Blue technology sort of demonstrator program for the predecessor of the technology demonstrator behind that led to the Night Hawk. So it had its origins in that. So apparently undeserved by its pilots. We'll see if how it goes in this one. Also known as the Ghost. So the Saudis, when they saw it in operation during Operation Desert Storm, they sort of called it the Ghost because of its ability to sort of appear out of nowhere and attack. As we taxi out to the runway here, it's going to be. It looks like it's a pretty calm day. One of those sort of cell notes. It's got the F designation for a fighter. This is one of those things where when it's a fighter, not a fighter, when it's an F-111 or when it's an F-117. So it's not designed for air-to-air combat in any way, shape, or form. It's limited due to its stealth characteristics and stuff like that, and its engine limitations and things like that, to actually maintain as subsonic speeds. I'm going to back taxi down the runway here a bit, and I think before we take off. I'll make sure I got... Brakes got a bit of play in them. So it's got the F designation of being a fighter, but it's not actually a fighter. Like, it's due to its design limitations for radar, so, radar cross-section reduction and things like that, and to reduce its infrared signature. It's got a pair of non-afterburning turbofans. So it's and it's limited to very to subsonic speeds, and it's got no airborne radar or anything like that to again maintain its stealthy characteristics, so it didn't have to worry about any emissions control and stuff like that. So it's not a fighter. It is a bomber, but one of those things to get it through Congress and get it funded and stuff like that, and to hide the funding, it was hidden inside of fighter programs, and hence it got the fighter designation. So there you go, bit of random user trivia for you. So it's got it carries 2 weapons. Is all it's armed with. So it's got two internal weapons bays, one on each side of the center line on the belly, which can carry a single munition in each bay. Usually a laser-guided or GPS-guided attack munition, ranging from just your basic laser-guided high explosive through to your penetrator warheads, and of course your JDAM, joint strike weapons and stuff like that. Alright, I think that should be enough at this runway here, so we'll just turn around here on the runway. Alright, so as I said, we got the nice sands out here in the desert. Alright. Alright. Okay, brakes on. Throttle up. Alright, and brakes on, and let's throttle up and let's go. Brakes off. Go down the runway here. The shape of it is rather odd, isn't it? It just really, really is rather odd. Alright, a little bit squiggly on the ground. Get it up. Right, didn't lose too much of the runway. A very patriotic scheme. So this colour scheme was on for its retirement flight. So 2 of the Night Hawks were specially repainted in this scheme to allow them to for a couple of fly pasts to sort of say farewell and thanks for all the fish as when they finished their officially retired in 2000 and 2008. And all faint trails of the turbofans reducing there. Alright, so in the air. Yeah, look, she's not bad. She hasn't been so wobbly so far. Our altitude there, nice readouts. And she definitely, now I've read some of the ops manuals and stuff and the talk about the F-117, and like, she definitely can't do the high G maneuvers and stuff like that because she tends to G-stall quite easily because of that. So yeah, she doesn't fly too badly, and look, and again, this is one of the things about when you bring your model across from FS9 over to FSX. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, FS9 was great for its time, but FSX, with all its improvements that it brought in as the iteration beyond FS9, this model, because it is sort of trying to appeal to, and it tries to appeal to both FS9 and FSX users, sacrifices a lot of things and the quality of the textures that make FSX the joy that it is to actually operate. So yeah, and look, flying wise, this doesn't seem too bad, but my fundamental problem with it is basic things like see-through textures in the cockpit. Really, guys, you're charging money for this? That's a little bit much. That really is. That is a little bit much. So I'm gonna straight out say it. I'm gonna call it right now. Don't get it, guys. Just don't. Like, the aircraft's an iconic piece of aviation history. It really is. And it's just a shame that it's done with no justice as this one is. You know, there could have been so much more done with this. Like, you know, maybe even just do an update for it, like a texture fix or something for it, guys, you know. And the sad reality is there's not a great deal out there when it comes to the F-117. Like, there really isn't much out there of it. It's pretty much, this is it. There is one more, which is the one from Captain Sim. The one from Captain Sim, though, doesn't actually, like, is fairly basic because of the fact that it doesn't actually have any VC at all. I was going to come into finals here. Alright, watch the airspeed. The airspeed really drops when you drop that one. Oh, got a sink warning. Oh, this could be bad. Yep. Ow. That hurt. Ow. Sorry, guys. Okay, maybe one thing they did get right was the whole flight dynamics thing. Yep, I think they got that right. It's very unforgiving. Though, again, according to the pilots, it was not that bad. So yeah. But yeah, look, it's very rare. Like, there is only this one out there, pretty much. Like, Captain Sim do one as well, but their one doesn't have its own VC. It just copies the VC from FSX acceleration, from the acceleration F-18 Hornet, and just plonks it inside the model. So it doesn't actually have its own VC per se. It just simply uses, it just adapts the one that's already there from the Hornet. So yeah, a little bit there. But this one, yeah, just don't. Just don't. I really wanted it to be something. I really did, because, as I said, it's such an iconic aircraft and such an ugly looking aircraft that I was really excited. So, oh yeah, it's out there, and it's like, oh, I saw it was for 2009. I'm like, oh yeah, no, just payware, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. Yeah, apparently not. Apparently not. Apparently not. So yeah. Look, as I said, this is available from Commercial Level Simulations, or also put out under their own name, but also put out under Just Flight's name as well. Gonna call it right now. Don't get it. It's a shame that there isn't a nice, decent quality one of this one kicking around out there. That is a real shame, because that, yeah, as I said, it's such an iconic aircraft. It really kind of deserves it. But unfortunately, it is not to be. So there you go. Unfortunately, this is one aircraft that's going to have to be consigned to the history books, and not be flown in our virtual skies, unfortunately. But anyway. Alright, folks, well, that wraps up my little review of Commercial Level Simulations F-117A Night Hawk. Thanks very much for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And, of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NoVoing24. Alright, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.